Job site lunchtime. Inflation of prices in our neighborhood. Like everybody, we have inflation. So I've had a meal yesterday and a meal today. San Francisco, California. This is, they give you your chips. And this is a super burrito with spicy chilies and everything in it. It's a carne asada. So this is a beef burrito with real meat. It's made by a little homemade place, not Taco Hell. A whole entire chicken, whole entire freshly barbecued chicken. And this thing just melts in your mouth. This thing is good. Good chicken there. This meal plus a V8 spicy juice, tomato juice. Total $26.46 for this right here. Now, this little place I've been going to, this place has been in existence for like 40 years. When my mom was, when I was a kid, my mom would bring me here, this place. It's in an industrial part of town. I bought this exact same meal before COVID because this is something that I would commonly get from this place when I work in this neighborhood. This exact same meal was $18. This chicken, this super burrito, and this was $18. It's now $26.46, I think it was, just right now. That is not a 6% increase, like our government says our inflation rate goes up. Yesterday, I went to one of my favorite Mediterranean places in South San Francisco. Unfortunately, the original owner went out of business. I would buy a tray the same size as, say, see this tray, this right here? It would be like this, a tray of food. It had 4 little samples in it, and I would get their Mediterranean, 3 different kind of salads. I would get a dessert called a baccarat, something like that. It has walnuts and pistachios with a little flaky pastry in it. And I got 1 bottled water. Now, this was something that I always buy at that one location. And I bought it yesterday. They reopened. I discovered it was a new owner. They only had 1 worker at the front counter, who I think might have been the owners or one of the owner's parents, who was at the front counter and would go back into the kitchen. And they had 1 worker. They didn't have enough workers for the staff. It almost took me an hour, and there's only 3 people there inside. There's 3 orders to make for 3 people, and then I was the 4th who came in, and it took them an entire hour. If you went there on your lunch period, you could not eat your meal because you got it just a few minutes before your hour was up. The food wasn't that great. That same plate of dish would cost me $13 and some change. If I got one of the other desserts, it was like $14. It cost me $32 yesterday for a tiny little, one of those little plastic trays you just open up, and it has 4 little dividers in it with little portions of salad and my 1 little meat dish and my dessert and my 1 bottle of water. $32. It was 13 and some change last year before the COVID, and it was $32. That is not a 6% increase, like our government likes to say that our inflation rate went up. So, and the food quality wasn't that good, and your boss would be pissed off because you would be late coming back from lunch because it took them so long. I could see that business going out of business. Because they have to charge so much because they just bought a business, and they're paying full rate rent at today's rents in the San Francisco Bay Area. So to make their cost and their cost of goods go up, they have to charge that price to stay in business. But they can't give service. The food isn't that great, and the price is like a nice, decent, going out to a nice place dinner price. Instead of, that was an industrial area for workmen to eat food. It is that quality work, but they want fancy dinner prices. And so I could see that place going out of business. But yeah, inflation and in food in places that I eat to. This is still under the same owner, so the prices went up a little bit, not that incredibly much, and the chicken is still really, really good. Yep, lunchtime. Sorry for ranting about inflation and prices and stuff like that, but I'm sure this is going on in your neighborhoods, and If you knew the before and after, I lost a lot of restaurants. My favorite restaurants just don't exist anymore. See you guys.